Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. When I got into collecting fragrances about a year ago, the first clone house that I run into was the house of Armaf, which in my opinion to this day is probably the most well-known or the most famous clone fragrance house in the world. And over the past year or so, I've amassed a total of 12 fragrances from Armaf in my collection. So in this video, I'm going to show you all 12 fragrances and I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite. I'm going to start this video off with 4 fragrances from the same line from Armaf, which is called the Odyssey line. And at number 12, or my least favorite of all of the Armafs in my collection, is going to be the Armaf Odyssey Mega Limited Edition. Now this is a clone of YSLY EDP. In the opening he gets about 85% close to the original scent, just lacks a bit of that freshness, a bit of that punch that the original Y has. On the dry down, super close, I would say about 95% close, that sweet, that fruity sweetness that the original has, this one also has. Now there are 2 reasons why this is at number 12 or my least favorite from all the Armafs in my collection. Reason number 1 is the fact that I simply don't enjoy that much the original DNA, so this is not a fault of this particular fragrance. I know that the original YSLY EDP is a crowd-pleasing scent, super versatile, but I simply don't enjoy it. And the second reason why this is ranked last is the fact that this lacks the performance. I get about 5 hours out of this fragrance, and at least with the original YSLY you get monster performance, but here just I would say about average, 5 hours. At number 11 is going to be the Odyssey Mandarin Sky Limited Edition. This one a clone of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Scandal pour Homme. Scent wise, I would say again about maybe 85% close in the opening, about 90 to 95% close on the dry down. Just lacks a bit of that again freshness, that slight freshness that the original Scandal has. Other than that, very sweet, that caramel type of sweetness that you get with the original, you'll get with this one. Super long lasting, good for the younger crowd out there, good for the colder months of the year. In warmer weather can be a bit glowing. At number 10 is going to be the next fragrance from the Odyssey line, which is the Odyssey Homme, the original fragrance from this line. This is a clone of Tom Ford Noir Extreme. The problem with this one is that this is not really that close to Noir Extreme. I would say if I have to put a percentage on the closeness, I would say this is about 70 to 75% close to Noir Extreme. This is like a slightly lighter, a slightly fresher version of Noir Extreme. It's not bad by any means. To my nose, it just sort of leans a bit to the feminine side, the scent profile. Performance is slightly above average. I get about 5 to 6 hours, maybe 6 to 7, let's say, of performance out of this one. All in all, not a bad fragrance. At number 9, the last fragrance from the Odyssey line is going to be the Odyssey Homme White Edition. Now this I don't think is a straight up clone of anything. It carries it sort of combines 2 different fragrances, a bit of that original stronger with true DNA and with a touch of Paco Rabanne Invictus in there somewhere. In the opening, it has a bit of that freshness, a bit of that bubble gummy sweetness that the Paco Rabanne Invictus has. Then on the dry down, this sort of closer to stronger with you start to get that vanilla. The fragrance starts to get a bit more vanillic sweetness. Not a bad fragrance. The problem is that I don't like very much that combination of bubblegummy sweetness and vanilla sweetness. And the other problem with this one again, that it lacks a bit of on the performance side. I get about 6 hours out of this one. At number 8 is going to be one of the newer Armaf's additions into my collection, and that one is the Nuit. Now this is a clone of Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Pretty good clone, especially on the dry down. In the opening, there's a slight difference here compared to the original. I think there's a sort of a floral freshness in this one that the original lacks. And I would say about maybe 75 to 80% close in the opening. On the dry down, this gets pretty close, maybe up to 90 even more percent close to the original one. And as I said, the opening of this fragrance not only differs to the original Green Irish Tweed, but also there's sort of a not only that floral freshness, but there's sort of a chemical freshness, if that makes sense, into this fragrance that I don't really enjoy on the few times that I've already worn this one. But once that passes away, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes into the life of the fragrance, it starts to get a lot mellow and, as I said, closer to Green Irish Street, and a little bit more enjoyable to me. Perfect for the current weather outside, for spring weather. Can be found for a really nice price. At number 8 in today's video is going to be the Nuit. At number 7 in this video is going to be the Armaf Craze. Now this is a clone of Parfum de Marly's Pegasus, and this one is really nice, really nice clone, really close to the original scent. You get a lot of that same bergamot, that heliotrope. You get that slight bitterness from the almond note in here, slight freshness from the lavender note, the sweetness from the amber and vanilla. Very close to the original scent, very high quality scent in here. Performance is pretty good, 89 hours. Can be found for dirty cheap. It's a versatile fragrance in the sense that it's more of a unisex, fragrance. Can be worn by both men and women, no problem. Can be found really cheap. The only problem that I have with this fragrance is the tacky bottle, and also the atomizer isn't great as well. It puts a tiny little burst out, but other than that, I've been enjoying this fragrance. At number 7, the Armaf Craze. At number 6 in today's video is going to be another new addition to my collection from the house of Armaf, the Armaf Radical Brown. This one a clone of Parfum de Marly's Herod. Also, let me just spray it a little bit. Also, this one, especially on the dry down, gets somewhat close to Mugler's Pure Havane, and also to Bulgari's Men in Black, especially to my nose, to Bulgari's Men in Black. It's on the dry down, it's like a sweeter version of Bulgari's Men in Black. All in all, quite nice fragrance. I've had this one just for just about a week, so I've worn it only once, but I've quite enjoyed wearing this one. You know, you've got in here cinnamon, some tobacco, some amber, some lavender. Really nice, warm, dense type of a fragrance that's good for colder months of the year. I've enjoyed my first wearing of this one. I'll wear it a few more times, but so far I've been really liking it, and so that's why it sits at number 6 in my Armaf rankings, the Armaf Radical Brown. At number 5, there's going to be something a little bit different. This one, the Club de Nuit Intense Men Parfum Oil. This one, I really enjoyed this parfum oil. It's has a very interesting scent profile. It's quite close to the original Club de Nuit Intense Men, the EDT, but this one lacks that sort of chemical harshness that the EDT has. It's sort of it's fresh, lemony, sort of really fruity, citrusy version of Club de Nuit Intense Men. Once it dries down a little bit, it gets close scent-wise to the Club de Nuit Intense Men EDP, another fragrance that I have from the house of Armaf. And I've not been wearing this one on itself, but a really good tip for guys who have this. You can layer this one with any of the other Club de Nuit Intense Men fragrances from your collection. Number 4 is going to be the Armaf Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir, one of the newer releases from the house of Armaf. This fragrance combines 3 different DNAs. All of them I really like. The Dior Sauvage EDT DNA, the Dior Sauvage EDP DNA, and a little bit of the Club de Nuit Intense Men DNA here as well. A very light pineapple note in here. It's a mix, mainly a mix between the EDT and the EDP versions of Dior Sauvage. I would say leans slightly towards the EDP version. It's slightly sweeter, not as fresh, not as the EDT one. Super versatile, great performance, mass-pleasing type of scent. Will get you a lot of compliments, can be worn in any type of occasion, can be found for a really nice price. At number 4, the Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir. At number 3 is going to be the Armaf Futura La Homme. This is a clone of Valentino Uomo Intense / Dior Homme Original. Some people say or claim this is closer to the Dior. To my nose, this is closer to the Valentino Uomo family. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, that scent DNA is pretty close and it's shared between the Valentinos and the Diors. You get that lipsticky, powdery iris along the way with a slight freshness from a lavender note in here. You get a bit of that cacao type of sweetness in here as well, although this is a bit more fresher, I would say. The quality of the scent is pretty good. The price could be found for a really good price. Performance I get about 6 to 7 hours, so pretty much the same performance that I get from the original Womo and the Your Homme original. All in all, a nice fragrance. I really enjoyed that DNA. It's my all-time favorite DNA. That's why this is ranked so high. At number 3 in today's video, the Futura La Homme. At number 2 in this video is going to be another of the new releases, the Club de Nuit Iconic. I love the bottle design or the bottle coloration of this fragrance. I really enjoy that blue color with that silver accents. This is a sort of a clone of Bleu de Chanel EDP. I say sort of because I don't think Armaf tried to do a straight up clone. They put a few twists on the original Bleu de Chanel EDP scent profile. The end result is very close, especially on the dry down, to the original Bleu de Chanel EDP. Lacks a bit of that quality of the grapefruit freshness in the opening, but on the dry down gets pretty close. Super versatile fragrance, super mass pleasing type of scent. Every time I've been wearing this over the past month or so, every time I've got compliments from total strangers and from people around me, from friends and family. Has really good performance, really good projection. I don't know, at least on my skin. For the moment it's kind of expensive because of the hype, but I think once the hype dies down a little bit, this could be found for a really good price, and I think it's really worth it. And so my second favorite fragrance from the House of Armaf in my collection is the Club de Nuit Iconic. And that brings us to number 1, or my most favorite fragrance from the House of Armaf in my collection, and that's going to be the Club de Nuit Intense Man EDP. I've said this many times, but this is not only one of my favorite Armafs in my collection, but one of my favorite fragrances in the whole of my collection. Really nice fragrance, super versatile, quite close to the original Creed Aventus scent profile. It's a lot better compared to the EDT, a lot rounded type of scent. It's a lot better in my opinion, lacks that harshness of the EDT. The performance is outstanding of this one. I get 12 hours easily pretty much every time I'm wearing this. It's super versatile, can be worn in pretty much any type of wear, for any occasion. It will get you a lot of compliments, and if you look for a good deal, you can find a good deal on 150 or 200 ml bottle size, like I have here with my bottle. As I said, this is my most favorite Armaf fragrance in my collection, the Club de Nuit Intense Man EDP. And so guys, in today's video I showed you all 12 Armaf fragrances that I currently have in my collection, and I ranked them from my least favorite to my most favorite. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, stay safe, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye bye.